Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. Good morning, DY. I can't tell you how excited I am to see everybody in here. This is one of the great traditions DY has. It's a special event. They've done this for years. If you think about it, what a journey you guys have had as seniors. Been through thick and thin. And you know what? I've said it many times. You never complained. You're always positive. You deserve everything. You've worked really hard for this to happen. I love the way we get a chance to honor and celebrate the seniors in front of the entire school. Normally, we would have this place packed with all your underclassmen. But in this case, it'll be slightly different as we are live streaming this in every classroom in the school. And this is still going to be a special event. Because look around. You got tonight, you'll have your prom or senior last splash, and then Saturday, you'll have your wonderful graduation. But honestly, this is the last time you may be in DY with everybody. So look around, enjoy it. You earned it. You're all moving on, and I couldn't be prouder of everything you guys have done. So with that, I am going to welcome Vice President Alex Brett. Are we getting the hug, or is that tomorrow?
What's that?
Are we getting the hug, or is that tomorrow?
You guys did a really good job walking in. Good morning, class of 2021. Teachers, guests, and to those watching live. Also welcome to Hawk and Kenny, who's actually on time, dressed appropriately, and in the right seat. Welcome to the class of 2021 Senior Last Assembly. I want to thank our amazing principal, Dr. Mr. Coach Funk, for working hard to get us all here today. He's a little overqualified, but he does his job very well. I also want to thank Mrs. Endich. She worked day and night with your class officers to allow us to have a senior week. Can we give Ms. Endich a round of applause? I can remember I addressed all of you 4 years ago in the auditorium when I ran for class office. And here we are, 4 years later, sitting in a gown at our very own senior last. I commend all of you for sticking with it, staying dedicated, and most importantly, bearing uncertainty over the last year with COVID. We graduate tomorrow. For some of you, that might be a chilling thought. If you look at the classmates next to you, they might be a familiar face. Whether it be from seeing them around the school, or maybe you've known them for a long time. In a few years, that same person next to you might be a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, a service member, a politician, business person, or anything else their heart desires. But remember, it all started here. Considering we will all be going our separate ways after tomorrow, let's cherish our last few moments together. For some of you honors students, one of your first memories going back to 9th grade might have been how we all started out reading In the Heart of the Sea. And let me tell you, we hated that book. I know Mr. Marr secretly did too. Nevertheless, we all look back on our years as underclassmen and see how far we've come. Each of you have changed in so many significant ways, except Officer Nick, who's had the same mustache since he graduated high school. All things considered, when you're listening to the other speeches today at your senior last, please reflect quietly on your accomplishments and how far you've come since you walked into the doors of DY High School as a little 8th grader. I want to thank you all for your part in making our time here at DY memorable. Before I go, I would like to say, Mr. Brown, if you're listening, I apologize, but I still know nothing about biology. Thank you all, stay safe, and I wish you all the best. I'm now going to introduce Hannah Didsbury, your class rep, to deliver the class history.
Howdy. Sorry, I gotta uncrumple this. I don't have pockets. All right. Can y'all believe this? We're finally here. 2021, our graduation. When we started kindergarten, in the age of silly bands and swine flu, it felt like a fake year, like something we'd never reach. Even in 2016, the end didn't feel real. I mean, bottle flipping, fidget spinners, and the clown epidemic was really all that was on our minds. We were awkward and uncertain, joining teams and clubs for the very first time and being way too loud in the hallways. There was nothing like the pure euphoria of getting pizza crunchers from Mrs. Falco. And I wish I had Matt Reynolds' confidence the day he derailed Miss Kingston's social studies class to talk about his cats. Bravo, man. We also celebrated Navin's birthday for the first time. Happy birthday, Navin. We saw upperclassmen... Yeah! We saw upperclassmen succeed and thought, I want to do that. Thus began a long line of successes our freshman year. Hawken was our president. Kenny Campbell and Sasha Galvin broke the 6-minute mile barrier as just freshmen. I don't know how you guys move that fast. The football team took it all the way to Gillette Stadium to bring home the championship. The field hockey team won their championship. The marching band won New England champions and marched through Disney. And the winter percussion brought their show Going Bodman to the world stage in Dayton, Ohio. That hunger for success only continued our sophomore year, with Kevin, in his first year as our president, breaking the 4 minute and 30 seconds for a mile that year. The theater company had everyone laughing at Mr. Fiorentino's tragic spelling in 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And the winter percussion and winter guard were constant crowd favorites with Let's Play and Welcome to the Jungle. Junior year, we felt invincible. We were upperclassmen now. We were really starting to leave our mark on DY. Tynan established the Math National Honor Society, and Brady helped create our Spanish National Honor Society. Who could forget our first experience with AP classes and the lessons they taught us? No matter the question, the answer is always Boss Tweed. Maruza's sky-high GPA kept climbing. The class officers held the first and only DY Class of 2021 jazz concert, which went perfectly and raised an incredible amount of money for a one-night event, despite the fact that I came about this close to having a mental breakdown in front of the Music Suite copier. Sorry, Kevin. Unfortunately, we all know what happened March 13th. We were then forced to postpone and later cancel the talent show, where Mr. Stone was slated to be a special guest judge. A weekend turned into 2 weeks, turned into a month, turned into the rest of the year. The transition to online learning in a new, isolating reality is a dark spot in our class history. The thing I love about our class is that the hunger we had as 8th graders, as freshmen, as sophomores, stayed with us. We donned masks and came back to distanced marching band season, a later football season, Zoom theater, and a hybrid schedule. I'm so proud in each of every one of you, not just for what you've done in the past 5 years, but for making it here today, without sacrificing the things that make DY what it is. Congratulations, class of 2021, not only for graduating, but for graduating with that same DY pride we've had all along, pandemic or no. It's certainly been a bumpy road, but there aren't any other 367 people I'd rather share the journey with. Thanks, and congratulations. Now I'd like to introduce the class marshals, Emily Texera, Caleb Katoya, Grace LePage, and John Stone.
Hi.
Hello.
This this is the fun part where you get your senior superlatives. Starting off, we have Best Male Friends, Reese Folks and Vincent Swiatkowski.
Next up, we have Female Best Friends, Mary Dillon and Riley Flynn.
Most likely to become a teacher, Tynan Nunes.
Our Best Co-Ed Best Friends, Carson C. and Tabitha S. The most likely to become a teacher, number 2, is Savannah Johnson.
Teacher's pet, we have Victor D'Souza.
And our second teacher's pet, Marisa DaCosta.
Our class couple, Hawken and Angela.
Most athletic to Phoebe Holmes.
And Brady Holmes.
Our most likely to be unmuted on Zoom is Kia Stockton.
And Michael Nardone. Thank you and congratulations.
I'd like to introduce Eric Carter, the class treasurer, who will present the class gift.
So, all this talking and getting up early is making me real thirsty, hungry, and tired. Unfortunately for us, we are graduating and are going to be gone, but lucky for whoever's watching this, the people younger than us, I'm glad to introduce our class gift of the Dolphin Cafe, which is pretty much just coffees, special treats, good breakfast. And yeah, I was told about this today, so I don't have much more to say, but that's what I got. So.
Thanks, Eric. All right, one thing, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it last night, this is an incredible class, extremely well-rounded, athletic-wise, music-wise, art, with our art students, thespians, the plays were outstanding. But one thing this class does have is it has 12 students with a 4.0 or higher. And academically, that is off the chart. I couldn't be prouder of you guys. Given the situation, again, people who did not let something get in the way of the positive outcomes that come out of DY. So I am so proud of the fact that we have 12 students with a 4.0 or higher, and now I get my chance to introduce and award medals to our Salutarian and Valedictorian. So the number 2 ranked student in the class, our Salutarian, is Julian Savini, I'm sorry. Sorry, Julian. And our Valedictorian, Marisa DaCosta. So, Again, congratulations, and sorry I forgot that, Julian. Good thing it's live streamed. Okay, now we're going to go through our National Honor Societies, which, again, our school's done a great job with this. We have many of them by department, but we'll bring up our NHS advisor, Miss Adams.
Good morning. Although we weren't able to complete many of our usual events, you still continued to give your time. You were cleaning our beaches, your neighborhoods, volunteering in our elementary schools, as well as weeding and planting out front in 90-degree heat that we just did. I'm proud of your efforts. Continue to think of the ideals of NHS, scholarship, service, character, and citizenship. And now when I call your name, just please stand. Kevin Arsenault. Sarah Bach. Rose Baylor. Treasurer Rhea Brennan. Our President Alex Britt. Amelia Burnett. Jeremy Campbell. Ainsley Caton. Grace Katoya. Marissa DaCosta. John Deppen. Victor D'Souza. Hannah Didsbury. Mary Dillon. Danielle Dos Santos. Riley Flynn. Abigail Frisch. Alexander Sasha Galvin. Sorry, Sasha. Julia Gamma. Noah George. Brady Hill. Phoebe Holmes. Lexi Hulton. Michaela James. Thomas Julian. Craig Matchnick. Jillian Miranda, sorry. Tynan Nunes, our Vice President. Kayla Pinto. Jillian Powers. Adriana Prey. Our Secretary, Julian Savini. Stephanie Schoner. Ben Stebbins McCaffrey. And Vincent Swikowski. Thank you. And now I'm going to introduce Mrs. Makem for the Math Honor Society.
Hello, seniors. Welcome to your own graduation tomorrow and today's ceremony. I'm the sponsor for the DY Math National Honor Society. To qualify for entry into the DY Math NHS, students must maintain a 3.5 overall weighted GPA in a college preparatory math course and perform 12 hours of service through competitions, tutoring, or other activities organized to promote the enjoyment of math. The DY chapter of the Math National Honor Society only came into existence last year, and I'd like to especially thank Tynan Nunes, who persisted tirelessly and guided me in the opening of the DY chapter. I'd like to, go Tynan. I'd like to present to you the graduating members of the DY Math National Honor Society. Please rise and stay standing because it's a short list as I call your name. Tynan Nunes, our president and founder. Eric Carter. Julian Savini. Thomas Julian. Congratulations. And now, I would like to introduce Ms. Reilly, the Tri-M National Music Honor Society Advisor. Thank you.
Good morning. The Tri-M National Music Honor Society stands for Modern Music Masters, in which students have been carefully selected on the basis of scholarship, character, leadership, and service. Each student inducted into the Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School chapter of Tri-M leads as an extraordinary example in each standard and gave selflessly to the music department at DY and the musical community beyond. You can recognize our graduating Tri-M members as they wear a pink cord, as pink is the academic color for music. Seniors, please stand as I call your name to be recognized and hold your applause to the end. Ainsley Caton, Olivia Duarte, Brady Hill, Tynan Nunes, Lily Phillips, and Julian Savini. Congratulations. Before I leave you, remember these lasting words from Plato. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Congratulations, and may you continue to make and enjoy music for the rest of your lives. Up next, we have Frau Kultenmund, German National Honor Society Advisor.
So, guten Morgen. Here we are. We have here at DY the Omega chapter of the Delta Epsilon Phi German National Honor Society. To be inducted into the Delta Epsilon Phi Honor Society, students must have taken at least 3 semesters of German, have an overall 3.0 and a 4.0 scale, an overall German GPA of 3.6 on a 4.0 scale. They are also required to participate in community service and attend society functions, as well as promote German language and culture. The following students are members in good standing. Please stand and remain standing at your place when your name is read. Kevin Arsenault, Alex Britt, Ainsley Caton, Danielle DeSantos, Madeline Frommeyer, Alexander Sasha Galvin, Taylor Hurd, Luis Mesquita, Tina Nunes, Julian Savini, and Ben Stebbins McCaffrey. Congratulations, and be proud of yourselves, all of you here in this class, for all your accomplishments. Thank you. Next up is Senora Esperson Golden with the Spanish National Honor Society.
And it is here they are. Hola chicos. This is Mrs. Esperson Golden. I am the advisor for the Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica here at Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School. As your name is read, could you please stand to be recognized for your membership in the DY Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica El Morro chapter. During their studies here at DY, these students have maintained a 3.5 or higher GPA in their Spanish classes and an overall GPA of 3.2 or higher. Felicitaciones y todos a una. Rhea Brennan, Jeremy Campbell, Abby Frisch, Julia Gama, Noah George, Ana Grutudauria, sorry, I have to do the Spanish here, Brady Hill, our president, Tommy Julian, Craig Macknick, Leticia de Castro Martins, Novin Meredith, Sol Paini, sorry Sol, Kayla Pinto, Vincent Swatowski, and Shay Terrio. Congratulations, felicidades.
Good morning, folks. My name is Mr. Cutler, and I am the advisor for the Science National Honor Society. The Science National Honor Society was founded in 2000 in order to promote science education both in and outside of school. Our motto comes from the Roman poet Virgil, Fortunate is one who understands the causes of things, which as scientists we know is never truly possible. It is, however, a lofty and worthwhile goal. Our effort here at DY models that goal, and we hope to implement a local science fair in school next year. We've been trying to do it for 2 years now, so hopefully next year we'll be able to do it. And this fair will showcase the students' progress toward that goal. I would like to take this time to recognize our departing senior members of the DY National Honor Society, DY Science National Honor Society. So if you could stand as I read your name and hold applause till the end. Ainsley Caton, Sasha Galvin, Ben Stebbins McCaffrey, Carly Cusia, Eric Carter, Jill Miranda, Kayla Pinto, Lexi Holton, Maddie Fromeyer, Marisa DaCosta, Novin Meredith, Phoebe Holmes, Rachel Ingram, Stephanie Schoner, Tynan Nunes, Julia Gamma, and Brady Hill. Thank you all. Continue studying science, please.
I'd like to bring up Officer Nick with to go through his sheepdog speech.
Good morning. First, I feel like I have to clarify something that Alex Britt said. I couldn't grow a mustache in high school. So this is the same mustache I've had since the end of basic training, which is not that long after. 4 months of Army training it took to get this thing going. So today marks the 15th anniversary of our sheepdog presentation. The presentation has been a part of awards night for the past several years, and this morning Dr. Funk returns it to its place of origin at senior last assembly. Wednesday, I mentioned that we were doing a presentation honoring our sheepdogs to a group of underclassmen, and one of them said, "Ooh, I want to be a Pomeranian." It was clear that we needed to revisit what a sheepdog is. You don't pick it, you're born to it. From the writings of Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman, United States Army retired, most of the people in our society are sheep. They are kind, gentle, productive creatures who can only hurt one another by accident. Then there are the wolves, and the wolves feed on the sheep without mercy. But then there are the sheepdogs. The sheepdogs live to protect the flock and confront the wolf. The sheep don't generally like the sheepdog. He looks a lot like the wolf. He has fangs and the capacity for violence just like the wolf. The difference is the sheepdog has such a love for his fellow citizens that he cannot and will not ever harm the sheep, and he is willing to walk into the heart of darkness to protect them. Still, the sheepdog disturbs the sheep. He is a constant reminder that there are wolves in the land. They would prefer that he didn't tell them where to go or what to do, or be seen constantly standing at the ready in his olive drab or blue. The sheep would rather have the sheepdog cash in his fangs, spray paint himself white, and go, bah, until the wolf shows up. Then the entire flock tries desperately to hide behind one lonely sheepdog. That's what a sheepdog is. And there are sheepdogs among you now. This presentation usually starts a little bit of history. This year, the history is ours. I was at a seminar in 2005 when Colonel Grossman was the featured speaker. With me at that time, at that training, was the late, great Ken Jenks, who was the principal of this institution back then. Colonel Grossman shared the fact that everyone serving in the military at that time had enlisted or re-enlisted during a time of war. I was embarrassed that I hadn't realized this on my own. 9/11 was still an open wound and the wars were raging in two theaters of operation, Afghanistan and Iraq. Mr. Jenks, a student and master teacher of history, fully understood the implications of what Dave Grossman had said. DY had never recognized our enlistees before. In many cases, they were literally leaving DY for the battlefield, and we were letting them go without a word of acknowledgement. At the break, we basically exchanged a glance, and in our own shorthand, he gave me the mission to rectify our error. This tradition was born right there in that moment. We were not going to let another DY senior who had completed military enlistment before graduation leave the lagoon ever again without hearing from us. Our first sheepdog presentation was to the class of 2006. 10 DY seniors had enlisted in various branches of the armed forces that year before they graduated. The last name I read was Nicholas Exaros. Nick was killed in action 3 years later in Afghanistan. I believe that it was divine providence that connected us to Dave Grossman on that day, and I consider us so fortunate that Nick Exaros left DY High School knowing how proud we were and how grateful we were to him and all of the other sheepdogs who volunteered to guard the flock that year and every year afterward. Today, we reintroduce this tradition to senior last assembly and to the student body. It is a tradition of gratitude and of pride. I cannot speak to the personal motivations that compelled our sheepdogs to assume the responsibility for protecting the rest of us. I can only say that of a class of 170, these 3 stepped up. That is 1.7% of the class of 2021 who have chosen to take the oath to uphold and defend the Constitution and to stand the watch and confront the wolf when called upon. 1.7% makes this a very rare and special group to be a part of. Today we honor them, the sheepdogs of the class of 2021. We will present them with a plaque and a challenge coin and a blue star banner for their family to fly over their home during their enlistment. Today I'll fulfill my responsibility given to me by my friend Ken Jenks, and in his name and on behalf of the entire DY community, we thank them for the service that they are about to perform. We loudly announce our pride in them, and we wish them a safe return. We do this today because we are DY, and that is our tradition. Enlisted in the United States Air Force, Jillian Barr. Enlisted in the United States Air Force, Alexander Britt. Enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve, Najee Lawrence. These are the sheepdogs of the class of 2021.
Good morning, Nick. Will you just remain here for a second? I'd like to introduce Yarmouth Police Chief, Chief Fredrickson, for a quick word about Officer Nick.
Good morning, everybody. Class of 2021, congratulations. You've made it. A couple more days, so we'll just take it easy. Today, I'm here for a very special presentation that is typically held in the closed atmosphere of the Yarmouth Police Department. However, we are doing this presentation here, and it is truly the right audience to be in front of. Principal Funk, thank you for allowing this to take place here and now. I'm going to present an award that was selected in January of this year, but we chose to present it now, and you will understand why. For the past 50 years, our department has had a robust awards program that recognizes individuals for noteworthy performance. This year, we are recognizing School Resource Officer Nicholas Pascarosa. SRO Pascarosa, please come here. You're here already. Nick is a humble man who is deserving of more than this award. Here is a list of some of his career highlights. United States Army veteran, started his career with the Yarmouth Police Department in 1987. Served as a school resource officer for 26 years. Serves as a team leader of the Cape Cod Regional SWAT team. The current leader of the Cape Cod Regional School Resource Officer Network. He's directed 27 sessions of the Citizens Police Academy. He founded and directs the DY Police Explorers Program. He's a certified firearms instructor, a master instructor for applied patrol procedures in the police academy. He started the mock crash and drunk driving lectures for DY High. He served on Governor Baker's school security task force. He developed a school lockdown policy, which has been used nationwide. He developed a DY school district emergency plan. He's a recipient of 25 awards and citations for his successes. He's a highly respected expert in school resource issues across Massachusetts and the country. He also partners with Fitchburg State University Law Enforcement Program. Officer Pascarosa is a unique and amazing person. He's a police officer who has positively impacted the lives of so many of Cape Cod's youth. His forward thinking and thoroughness has made our schools and communities safer. His mentorship has been inspirational. He is dependable, meticulous, commanding, and caring professional. Over the course of 2020 and his entire career, School Resource Officer Nicholas Pascarosa has distinguished himself by performing his duties with professionalism, leadership, dedication, thoroughness, and compassion. SRO Pascarosa's contribution to the Yarmouth Police Department, Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School, and the Cape Cod community is immeasurable. SRO Pascarosa is the highest professional caliber. His can-do attitude, regardless of the obstacles and challenges, do not deter him from success in whatever he does. The past few years, and in particular the past few months, have been more than challenging for him. Even though he's defeated cancer, this past March, SRO Pascarosa lost his loving wife, Lisa, and his best friend, Principal Ken Jinks, within a matter of hours. While dealing with such a heavy loss, SRO Pascarosa has tapped into his resiliency and moved forward and continued his exemplary duties as a Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School Resource Officer. Nick is such a great mentor. We have all learned and continue to learn as he teaches us lessons every day. Despite his personal and professional adversity, SRO Pascarosa stays positive and is impactful. This quote from the great Winston Churchill sums up a big part of how Nick approaches life. If you're going through hell, keep going. As Chief of Police, I applaud you for your tremendous work that has enriched so many students within our community. I congratulate you on a job very well done and thank you for your continued exemplary efforts. As a result of your outstanding performance, I'm honored that your son, Benjamin Pascarosa, will present you with the 2020 Yarmouth Police Department Officer of the Year Award.
I did not see that coming. Wow. Chief, thank you. Ben, thank you for making the trip. Thank you to my colleagues for lining up on the wall there. Did everybody sign in? It's been a tough year. It's been a tough set of months, and the thing that's kept me anchored and tethered to reality is work. And coming in here and doing the things I know how to do and doing them with you and everybody coming back in May was a lift, and going through this process of getting everybody graduated in anticipation of the best day of the year, which is tomorrow, makes the worst day of the year, which is March 11th, a little easier to take. Only a little, but I'll take it. And thank you for all of your efforts in making this process very pleasant. It's really great. To my colleagues for selecting me for this, I'm not sure what to say, except thank you, and thank you again.
Nick, thank you for everything you do here at DY. Chief Fredrickson and your staff, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'd now like to call up Coach O'Connor with Ms. O'Connor, our athletic director, with our All Scholastic Awards.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Nick, for keeping us safe every day. Good morning. The Boston Globe and Boston Herald All Scholastic Awards. These awards are presented to athletes who have shown themselves to have performed above and beyond the team and league level. The young people that we present these to today are examples of hard work, dedication to their sport, and perseverance. I am pleased to present the Boston Herald All Scholastic Award to Grace Presswood, and the Boston Herald and Boston Globe All Scholastic to Lucy Swanson. We'll get those certificates to them. I have another award from the MIAA, the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association. This is from the Massachusetts State Hockey Coaches Association 2021 Academic All-Star in recognition of outstanding academic and athletic achievement. This is for Thomas Julian. Next, I would like to introduce Ms. Endich. She will present the Educator of the Year Award.
All right. Good morning, DY. Oh, I can take this off, right? Sorry. Good morning, DY faculty, staff, students, and most important, the class of 2021. I am here as the 2020 Educator of the Year to present the Educator of the Year for 2021. To say that this year has been challenging for all of us would be an understatement. However, as always, there are still those educators who go above and beyond for their students, coworkers, and school community. There's a lot to look forward to when you become Educator of the Year. First of all, in just a few moments, you will be utterly embarrassed. Then, once the new school year starts, the admin treat you just like royalty. First of all, they might take away your classroom and make you run end to end of the building all day, every day. Thank you for that extra minute. Then, just when you get into the swing of things, you get second semester lunch duty. Thank you, Mr. Clarkin. This year's Educator of the Year, like many of us, put in countless hours over the summer and even more when we returned to school in September. Some of the things that people had to say about this person on their nomination form were things like, this person is an innovative and dedicated educator. They are an effective collaborator, strong team leader, and respected teacher. This person is smart, inventive, communicative, passionate, and everything I desire to be. I know when I need to ask them a question that they will get the answer and respond with thought and kindness. This teacher has had experience teaching all grade levels and continues to bring in new courses, ideas, and grant money. This person is known to many of us as a friendly face around the building, as a lead team member, club advisor, and mentor to one of our new teachers. Anytime that I have the pleasure of working with this person, it's always fun and we can share a few laughs. I swear they're always in a good mood. I love to work with this teacher on projects. I specifically remember them coming to me with an idea, a packet of information, and asking me to make this pretty.
That project, however, did earn me the UROC, and now I have the pleasure of presenting them as the Teacher of the Year. I can't wait to see what fun projects we get to do next year when we return to more of a sense of normal. This year, this educator has brought a new Innovation Pathways program for healthcare and social sciences to our DY students and community. This totals over $25,000 in grants to our DY curriculum. Rumor has it they're even planning a new course this summer. Another teacher said, "Look out because her love of science is infectious. If you spend enough time with her, you too might develop a scientific mindset that makes you curious about things that you were never curious about before." Her passion for the school is visible in and out of the classroom. As soon as the bell rings, this teacher can transition from teaching science to leading our ambassadors, developing new courses and schedules, puts together alumni panels for STEM Week, meets yearbook deadlines, and builds strong relationships with staff and students, all with a smile on her face. I look forward to working with this person in the future to help better our school. Congratulations to this year's Educator of the Year, Mrs. Chaucy.
Hi. We're on a delay down here, so we just watched Officer Nick. Thank you. This is really unexpected. I'm so glad my family's here, but mostly thanks to my fantastic department, and of course the incredible joy and privilege to be able to have taught here at DY for the last 20 years. Love you students, we love you seniors. If you can see me down there, I'm not sure, because again, we're watching a different feed down here. But best of luck to you all. And I don't know what else to say. So, thank you all very, very much for allowing me to be part of your celebration this year. Oh my God.
Well, congratulations to Ms. Chaucy. It's well deserved. I can't wait to get rid of Zoom and get back into the classroom and get everybody back in here the way we used to do it. But again, well deserved. We have so many great faculty members here, and it's nice to see Ms. Chaucy get recognized. At this point, I'd like to call up Eleanor Sears.
Thank you, Dr. Funk, and another congratulations to Ms. Chaucy. Friends, peers, and faculty, as the incoming senior class president, I would like to extend my own congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. Genuinely, I am constantly amazed by how you all redefine the bars set by previous classes. From athletic prowess on the field to spectacular talent on the stage and intelligence in the classroom, you've proven to us that persistence pays off. Even when mosquitoes, global pandemics, intense heat, rain, snow, and the ridiculous morning traffic in front of DY got in the way, you managed to trudge through and emerge victorious on the other side. But we are pretty jealous that you won't have to deal with that DY morning traffic anymore. On behalf of the class of 2022, I cannot begin to thank you for the opportunities you've given me and my peers. Personally, I will always remember my first day in the band room in June of 2017. Even though I had known some of the older kids from Mattakees, this was an extremely new environment with more mature students. I quickly began to look up to you all, both literally and figuratively. I was stunned by how tall one of the low brass members was. I still haven't met that growth spurt yet. Well, these friends that I see in front of me have given me so much to believe in. You have all given me advice about which classes to take, what clubs to join, and inspired me to pursue greatness in leadership positions. I highly doubt that I would have run for class government had I not received encouragement from the 2021 class officers during my freshman year. And without you all, the class of 2022 could not have come this far. I am honored to put everything you've taught me to good use, and I'm sure that most people in the incoming senior class, as well as the grades below ours, can say the same. Thank you to all of you. With every beginning, there's an ending, but that doesn't mean the traditions and projects you've started at the high school will be forgotten. No matter how relieved you are to finally be done or how nervous you are to be leaving, your legacy will live on through the hearts and minds of the people you've inspired. So thank you. And I would now like to welcome to the podium the class of 2021 senior class president, Kevin Arsenault.
Morning, everyone. Can we give each other a round of applause for just being here? I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Quick shout out to Keith. Does everyone look at Keith real quick? There you go. Thank you. And shout out to one of my best friends, Matt. I'm so proud of you, dude, I love you too, man. I'm so proud of the man you're becoming. Stay faithful. Love you. And shout out to the student government for just putting this all together. I couldn't be more thankful for having such an amazing team who was willing to stay conscientious to the cause of just getting our class together and making it so we could have this senior week that, let's be honest, a few months ago we were not expecting it to be like this. So just another round of applause for that too. So let's talk about love. Now, I know you all are sitting there thinking like, oh my God, Kevin, you always do this. You always talk about something really uncomfortable and awkward, and you're annoying and you talk too much. Now, all of those statements are very true. Like, I will not argue guys on that one, but I really do think it's important just considering how life is right now. And all honesty, I think nowadays our culture has obscured what love is. I mean, what does it look like? I mean, if you look around, it seems like everyone's pretty confused about it. No one really knows what it is anymore. And part of it, I really think it's due to the limitations of the English language. We have one word for love, and that's love. But the Greeks had 6. So we used this single word to try to describe a vast multitude of emotions and actions. Not only that, but we tend to think of love as sometimes as only an emotion. That love is present when the emotions are there to back it up. And while it certainly can be, I believe true love is deeper than that. Love is an action. It does not take for itself, rather it serves. Love gives. It's a gift from one person to another. And when we give a gift, it's not usually done on the basis of whether one deserves it. Rather, it's done out of the kindness of our own hearts. It's out of selflessness. This action of giving, despite the receiver's deservement, is called grace. As seniors, we expect so much. Oftentimes, the things we expect are also privileges we think we deserve. And arguably so, the challenges we faced in school were legitimate, and each and every one of us have our own battles that others know nothing about. But nevertheless, we pushed on, and here we are today, within 24 hours of graduating high school and officially moving on to the next chapters of our lives. So surely that prompts an entire year of events and memories to celebrate, right? Well, that's what we thought until our world got flipped upside down. In September, we were all thinking, we've been robbed of our senior year. Homecoming, football games, shows, concerts, you name it, it's all gone, and this is simply unfair. We deserve better. But what if we were not truly deserving of those things in the first place? Now that sounds absolutely crazy. Like, how could we not deserve this and everything we have? I feel like in a sense we truly do deserve these things, but only so far, only to a certain point. It's easy to let our present circumstances discourage us from seeing any good that's come out of the past year. However, I would like to challenge all of us as a class to see what we have. For if we always contemplate what we're without, we'll dread our lives entirely. But if we instead reflect on what we've been given, we soon realize how much we have and how much we're truly loved. Whether it be our year, our education, or our futures, or our lives, nothing is guaranteed. For if they were, all that we have would no longer be gifts, and the beauty of grace would be utterly meaningless. So sure, we didn't get what we want, but so what? That's not something we can change. Are we seriously going to let ourselves sulk in what could have been instead of rejoicing in what currently is? Like, wake up, guys, look around you. When was the last time we've been all together so close as a class? So please take in the moment, because this will also be one of the last times we are together with each other for the rest of our lives. So please let this be a lesson that we can take away with us. Near to none of our futures will look exactly the way we want them to. And if we live our lives constantly in battle with the unpredictable nature of the world, crumbling over the fact that things aren't going our way, we are going to be miserable people. Rather, let go. Recognize the parts that we can control and be flexible with all else, for time and chance happen to us all. And remember, the trials we have will never be without a purpose and can be used to mature us in character, soften our hearts, and lead us in a direction that's greater than we could ever imagine. So if you have a dream, go get it. For as a wise teacher once said, whatever your hands find, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where we are all going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. Therefore, let's dedicate our lives to a purpose greater than ourselves, so the work we do may not be done in vain, and so those around us may be lifted up by our selflessness. For there is no greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. And if that doesn't give life meaning, then I don't know what will. Before I say goodbye, I would like to challenge us all to take on a different worldview. If we are not inherently deserving of what we have, then suddenly all that we do have becomes a blessing. It becomes a gift. Suddenly there are reasons to rejoice and be glad. Your cup is no longer half empty, rather it's half full, and you're thankful that you even have a cup to drink out of in the first place. Who would have thought such a simple cliche could have so much depth? You see, blessings are not given on the grounds of how much you've worked, who you are, or what you look like, or where you come from, but on the basis of grace. By grace alone, we've been given the opportunity to receive an education. By grace alone, we've been able to group here together today. By grace alone, I've had the opportunity to speak to you all. And most importantly, it's by grace alone that we have the capacity to love and be loved. So peace I leave with you all, class of 2021. May your lives be filled with grace to you and the people you meet. Be happy and be merry because we did it. And although our time together is quickly fading, we still have one more night on the dance floor. And I hope to see you all there with me. Farewell, class of 2021. I love you so much. Peace and God bless.
Okay, everybody, great job. That concludes our senior last assembly. Again, we'll see you guys tonight and Saturday at, you guys need to be here at 10 for your 11 o'clock graduation. Congratulations.
Seniors, you're going to get to march out so that everyone in the live stream gets to see just how awesome you are.